Hi, we're at the NEC Caravan Show and we're here with Anna McNuff, who is going to take our outdoor bloke test, which we've had to now change to outdoor adventurer test. Anna is an adventurer who's travelled all over the world and she's going to answer our quick fire 10 questions. So first up.
Ready?
Have you ever been a Boy Scout?
No, I haven't, but they were allowing girls into the Boy Scouts when I was around about 10 years old, but I chose girl guiding instead.
Okay,
yeah.
I think that's a qualifier, so we'll give
so
you
definitely,
one point for
I've
that.
slept under a wet, soggy canvas tent and carried it in myself. Yes, that counts.
We will give you the full point. Okay. Have you ever caught your supper?
Yes, I have, on a lake in Solihull, actually.
Okay.
Does it count? It's in an estate, there were ducks, and then I did help catch a trout.
Right.
And I watched it while it was killed and then I ate it. So technically I assisted in catching my supper. But I'd like to do it more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Maybe somewhere more exotic.
Yeah, maybe somewhere a little bit more, remote for an adventure.
Have you ever slept under the stars?
Oh, loads. Yes, absolutely, hundreds of times.
And where was the best place?
The most memorable place was probably in the Sierra Nevada mountains in just outside San Francisco, a bit away from there, and there were just millions and millions of stars. We were up in this place called Carson Pass on the way into the Nevada desert towards that way.
Fantastic.
Yeah, beautiful.
Recommended.
Very highly recommended. Although there were some raccoons that ate all of our food, but that was fine. The stars were great, the raccoons not so much.
Excellent. Have you ever been skinny dipping?
Yes, loads. I love it. It's very liberating. Yeah, I did a couple of swimming trips where I went and swam down the coast of Croatia and around some Greek islands, and the tradition was always on those trips to finish with a skinny dip. So yeah, very liberating.
You did that alone, or?
Did that with a group of people.
Okay.
I've also cycled naked in the salt flats of Bolivia.
Right.
Like that's, I'm just taking the next step forward. It's something so liberating. Yeah.
Fabulous. Have you ever built a tree house?
No, and I really want to.
Anything close to that?
Well, me and my brothers did try once in the tiny little tree in our garden, but it was a kind of, we went down with some bits of wood and hammered them around and then it all fell down. So yeah, technically I did build a tree house that stayed up for about...
But it didn't pass health and safety?
No, it did not pass health and safety, so no, that one needs to be done.
We'll put that at 0 then. But you're doing okay. I think you're at 4 points out of 5, not bad. Have you ever been lost in the wild?
Yes, definitely. New Zealand. I was following a trail, I was doing a run the length of the country, and in some very dense bush in the South Island I lost the trail, and I then went back to find the trail, and then I couldn't find the trail, and then I did this 360 where everything looked the same, and I thought, oh my gosh, I have no idea where I am. So I ended up bush bashing north for about a mile until I came across a road and got back on track.
Were you scared?
Yeah, I cried. I went through all these emotions and I was like, you're an idiot! And I was like, you're an idiot! And I just, it was like that.
Excellent. A good one. Have you ever been chased by an animal?
Yes, I have dogs, loads. Right. I know that doesn't sound scary, but in South America, that's pretty scary when you're being chased by a pack of dogs and they're clipping at your ankles, and I actually got bit by one of them, so I had to go and have my rabies jabbed.
You were walking, running, cycling?
This was cycling. Yeah, they just think it's really exciting to chase your bike, and they, they're a lot of them are wild dogs, and they just think great, good chase, and it's terrifying because they just...
And they've got rabies,
and they probably have got rabies, so it's good.
Have you ever climbed a mountain?
Yes, I have.
Where's the biggest one?
My friend and I, when we were on a cycling trip through the Andes, we went up a Volcan Uturuncu, which is 6,000 metres.
Wow.
And we went up there, no guides or anything, and we rode our bikes. The highest road in the world goes up to 5,600 metres, so we cycled our bikes up to there, and then got off and walked the rest, and it was about 10 steps at a time, wheezing, puffing. I think my oxygen saturation levels went down to about 69%, which is...
And how was the view?
Incredible. Like, it's a very lunar landscape, so just everything looked like a little toy village with little lumps, but no buildings, nothing. Wow. Yeah, amazing. And very windy. Got a nice chap lip.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little moustache. Good for the bloke test.
Yeah. Have you ever hitchhiked?
Yes, I have in New Zealand, off the trail to go and get food, because the trail I was following, it would pop out after 7 days, you'd hit a road, and I would have to carry another 7 days worth of food, so I would hitch off the road. And as I hitched off, I got one ride, and the second ride, someone picked me up. They were from Derby, and it turned out I'd worked with their daughter in London.
How busy.
I know! So, yeah, I have.
Fantastic. And finally, have you ever been a hero, perhaps in an outdoor scenario?
The one thing that springs to mind, I don't feel like a hero because it was quite scary at the time, but I was in Colorado when they had what they called the 1,000-year floods, and the front range of the Rocky Mountains got washed away, and I was trying to get out of north of Denver, and all the roads were closed, and I came across this place where there was basically, like in a movie, a big gap in the road. The river was running between me and the road the other side, and it was all crumbled. And as I turned around to go back on myself, a car came flying down the road and flipped off the side into the river, and I had to pull 2 people out of this car wreck, and it was pretty scary. And,
but heroics.
Yeah,
and they were fine. Or?
Well, you know what, I did. I don't know if you've ever tried to pull a 200-pound man out of a car while holding the door up. In my wisdom, I thought,
recently, no.
You don't do that every weekend. No. I thought, I've got this. I held the door open with one hand and tried to grab the man, and then dropped the door on the bridge of his nose and smashed him back inside the car. And I thought, I've killed him. I'm supposed to be saving him, and I've killed him. So he was fine, no injuries except for the crack across the bridge of the nose.
A mercy killing.
A mercy killing, yeah, basically. So I'm a terrible hero.
Fantastic. Well, that's the end of the quick fire questions.
Amazing.
I think you scored a 9.
Oh my gosh.
A very solid 9.
That's not bad, is it?
We're doing Serrano 5s this afternoon, so
okay.
Will you beat him?
Oh.
Who knows? Tune in next time to find out.
So just say.
So once upon a time, there were 3 little bears.
Yeah, got it.
Is that working all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shop down.
Yeah.
The end.
The
I'm going to have to think of a new name for this.
Bloke test.
It's the outdoor bloke test, because we've only ever done it with blokes. I'm going to,
Yeah.
Oh my God, can I take a picture of this? Can I please take a picture of this?
Deeply sexist, isn't it? I hadn't even thought about that.
No,
That's
this
how
is
ingrained we
great.
are.
This is brilliant. This is. Oh, will you hold it up?
Well, here, hold it. Hold it first.
Just
It's like a lineup.
It's brilliant. Perfect.
Oh God, I'm going to be...
No, this is great. Let's change it. Awesome.
Adventurer. So it's Anna McNuff, that's how it's...
Yeah. Muck. Muck is
Muck.
MC rather than MAC.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know the difference. There you go. Muck.
There you go, yeah. It means son of, I think, which again is weird. Well, not son of, but...
Okay, well I'll just have to change the first question straight away.
Yeah.
Being a Boy Scout.
What's that?
Have you ever been a Boy Scout?
Well, do you know, no, you could, because they've just brought, you can ask them about Girl Guiding, but they've just brought, let girls into the Scouts when I was about 10, I think. So I chose Girl Guiding, but yeah, so the guiding was good.
Okay. Cool. Skinny dipping in there as well.
Oh, brilliant! No, I love skinny dipping. Yes, brilliant.
Okay.
This is great.
Okay. I'm not professional presenter, obviously. So this
Okay.
This could go either way.
This could. It could be
frankly.
shit.
This is all recording, guys. I've got all of this. It's brilliant. Cut the rest. It's just a prelim.
Okay.